So with the upcoming release of the Pixel 10 Pro Fold, I want to go over some of the reasons why I am excited for this phone, and then some of the reasons why I wouldn't upgrade if I had the Pixel 9 Pro Fold. So let's get started with the reasons why I'm excited for the Pixel 10 Pro Fold, and I'm going to list these in order of importance, at least in my opinion, obviously. So the first one's going to be the Hinge, and the reason I'm picking the Hinge as the most important thing is because this new design is letting Pixel give this phone an IP68 rating. This is actually the first foldable that I'm aware of, and at least that I can purchase myself, that has the 6 on the dust resistance rating. And this is a big one because it's actually the first foldable that I'm able to purchase that has this rating, and now it actually matches exactly what the slab phones have. The second reason why I would upgrade is for Pixel Snap, and it's obviously not limited just to the Fold because the entire Pixel 10 lineup has Pixel Snap from what I see. I don't remember if it was on the base model, but either way, the Pixel 10 Pro Fold comes with Pixel Snap, which is essentially just like iPhone's MagSafe. What this means is that we can actually use all of these MagSafe accessories that we have lying around on the Pixel phones now without having to, add a case on it. And this is one of those that I feel it was a long time coming and took forever to come out. But I don't want to sound ungrateful. I'm actually really happy that it's coming out, and it's going to improve the user experience by quite a lot. And a side note on that one, it looks like Pixel actually moved, or Google actually moved the charging coil to the normal spot on the Pixel 10 Pro Fold, which was a bit of an annoyance on the Pixel 9 Pro Fold because it actually kept the standing chargers, which is the one that I normally use, from working properly with the 9 Pro Fold. So that's another important one, even though it wasn't really mentioned. I just happened to see the pictures and where it lines up, and it looks like it's in the normal spot. The third thing to be excited about is the Tensor G5, and that's because the performance was actually boosted quite a bit. From the information that I've been able to gather, which is basically just from Google's advertisements for now, the TPU is performing at 60% better speeds, and then the CPU is performing at 25% better speeds. And I think year over year, a 25% boost is actually quite a bit, and so that's gets me a bit excited. I mean, the thing is that the Pixel phones, they already ran smoothly, so this extra power is gonna be for more intense games and stuff like that. So at this point with that G5, it should be able to handle all those AAA games with no problem. And then the Pixel experience should continue to be smooth because it's just gonna get faster, or it's just gonna be faster, and the software is already smooth as it is. The next one is that it's gonna have a larger battery capacity, and I think this could be close to 10%. I don't know if it reaches 10%, but it's pretty close, and that's gonna give you all-day battery, which the 9 Fold already gave all-day battery, so that's already a good one. But now you're getting an extra 10% on top of that, so you're actually getting all-day battery even a few years down the road probably. And this also includes, which I think is very important, faster charging, both wired and wireless. So the wired charging goes about 10 watts faster, or I think it's 9 watts faster. And then the wireless charging doubles to 15 watts instead of the 7.5 that the 9 Pro Fold had. And obviously it's going to include the magnets for Pixel Snap to be able to use the wireless charging with a magnet on it. The next on my list of reasons I would want to upgrade is the cover screen is actually a little bit bigger and fills out the front of the phone better. Now, it's not the biggest deal. I mean, I think we're talking about 0.1 inches, which is a tenth of an inch, which is not much in terms of screen size, but the front of the phone looks better overall. So aesthetically, it's more pleasing. The dimensions of the phone look almost exactly the same as the 9 Pro Fold. And so when you take that into account and you're getting a larger screen, obviously it's all going to be going edge to edge or taking advantage of the screen that was already there, or the space that was already there. So that's an awesome one because it's an improvement without making anything larger or more uncomfortable or unwieldy. It's just going to look better and it's going to perform better. And then last on my list of reasons to upgrade are the new AI features. And it's last not because the AI features are bad or anything, but because there's a chance that a lot of them or most of them will come to the 9 Pro Fold on an upcoming upgrade. So like with everything software related, there are things that are more useful than others. And so I want to go down the list of the ones that I think are useful and some that, might not be as useful, but it's still a new feature. The first one is the text to video. And that's a big one because it's a brand new feature and could be a very useful feature, but it's also one that I don't think is going to be used all too much because most people are capturing moments, not trying to create content or something. So unless maybe the average person is going to create a funny video or wants to create something just to have fun, I don't see it being used too often. I think maybe content creators or something like that might use it a bit more, but even then, I think it's going to be limited use. The next one is the magic queue, which when you're on a phone call, what it does, if you say something like, oh, I need to update my next flight, or I'm going to be late on my next flight, I need to cancel it. It basically just brings up the information for you. So obviously that's actually a very useful feature. But the thing is, how much trust do we actually have that's going to bring up the right information, the correct information? And for me, that's a very low likelihood that I'm going to trust whatever it brings up, unless I already know what I'm looking for and it matches with what I would want to bring up. This next one though, I do think is going to be one that as time goes, people are going to use it more and more. And it's going to be the Ask Photos feature, which from what I read on the Google site, it's basically you go to the gallery or the Photos app and you tell it what you want it to do. For example, you have an object in the photo that you want to remove. Normally you click on edit, you tap on it and start doing everything manually, but now you can ask it, hey, remove that cone that's in the picture because I don't want it in there, and it's supposed to be able to find it and remove it. How good it works, I really have no idea because I haven't had any hands-on experience with it, but it looks like it could be useful. And for anyone that maybe doesn't like editing photos, this could be a way of editing your photos without having to spend all your time trying to figure things out or tapping, and maybe some people don't like that. So it could be a good one depending on how it works, and with time I think it's gonna be one of those that people actually pick up and use more often. And then the last one that I saw on the site that caught my attention was the camera coach. Now this one is gonna be one of those that maybe someone that's struggling to get a good shot might use, or someone that doesn't take too many photos, wants to take a better photo, they might use it. But I think once the people get the help they need, they'll remember that, and then this camera coach is gonna go by the wayside. I think it's gonna be used a bit at first and then it'll die down. So I don't know how useful it's gonna be. And then for anyone who takes photos on the regular, I don't think they're gonna use this at all because they already know what kind of photos they like. So it could be a bit of a hit or miss in the beginning, and then it's gonna dwindle down either way at the end, in my opinion. Now I'm gonna move to the reasons why I wouldn't want to upgrade to the 10 Pro Fold. And one of them is gonna be the color choices. For some reason, with the Fold series of phones, they don't give as many color choices. I mean, it could be because they don't sell as much, so they don't want to, spend money, resources on multiple colors when they won't even sell them all, maybe. But it just seems like the color choices, one, it's only 2 choices, and then the second thing is that the jade color, to me, at least on the Google website, does not look good to me. And then another thing is that in person they usually look different, and so it could even look better in person than it does on the Google Store website. So it could actually be a nice color, I don't know, but to me it's just not appealing. Actually, I pre-ordered it and I chose the Moonstone color, which is the safe color, and it looks really nice on the website. I bet you it'll look a bit more plain when I get it, because photos don't always do justice to the colors, or sometimes it makes it look better. So mainly my gripe with it is that not enough choices and only one safe one and one colorful one. So that's one reason that if you don't like those colors, you might not want to carry that phone. The second reason is that many of the upgrades that I saw in the software, not the AI related ones, but the ones that are more related to the folding phone type of experience, those have already been out. At least a lot of them, or most of them, have already been out on Samsung and OnePlus. So it's not really like it's anything new. Now, if you're using Pixel, yeah, it's gonna be new for Pixel, but it's not new overall. And then the second thing is that on the next major update, that software experience is most likely gonna be coming down to the 9 and even the original Pixel Fold. So it's definitely not a reason to upgrade just because of some of those software experience features. And then the last reason why I wouldn't upgrade is because it's basically the exact same dimensions and even weight as the 9 Pro Fold. I think it's actually 0.1 millimeter thicker and like 2 grams heavier, which you won't really notice, but basically it's not any slimmer and or lighter, which is kind of like where the foldable market has been going lately. So if you're looking for something lighter or thinner, this is definitely not gonna be the one for you. But of course, it was already fairly thin. It's not a thick phone to begin with, so it all depends on what you're looking for on the phone. But if you already have the 9, going to the 10 in terms of dimensions, it's not gonna be much of a difference or any difference at all, really. So those were my reasons for wanting to upgrade and reasons why I wouldn't want to upgrade. Obviously, I'm buying it because I review the phones and, you know, I don't want to miss out on the newest phone. But if I wasn't reviewing phones and had the 9 Pro Fold, I just don't think I would be upgrading. But I want to know your thoughts in the comments. If you are going to upgrade or buy the 10 Pro Fold, type upgrade, and if you're not, type pass. And we'll see how many people actually think that it's worth an upgrade. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and found it helpful. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.